Okay, so take a look at part 2 of our Unit 6 practice assessment. In class, I went over with you all numbers 1 through 4 on the first page, and then they are in the first recording, 1 through 6, and then actually number 7 is in the first recording as well. So we will start on page 3 with a word problem, and I'm looking at this word problem, and just like some of the previous word problems, you don't need to read a lot about the word problem to be able to solve it because the equation is given. And when I look at the equation, I'm going to say that it's probably set up for substitution because x is already alone in the first equation. So I'm going to take that value, y plus 4, and I'm going to plug it in for the x in the second equation. So I will have 0.79x. I'm going to need a calculator. And instead of x, I'm going to put in y plus 4. And then plus 199y is equal to 1706. So I will distribute the 0.79, so I get 0.79y. And then 4 times 0.79 is 3.16, and I will encourage you to write the leading zero. I'm talking about this leading zero because that helps you differentiate that there is a decimal there, and sometimes the decimal can get lost. So next step is to just bring down 199y. Oh, that's my Oliver if you heard him. Okay, next step is going to be to combine like terms. My like terms are the 0.79y and the 199y, so I'm going to add 199 to 0.79, and that gives me 2.78y plus 316 is equal to 1706, and I'll subtract 316 from both sides. So 2.78y, 1706 minus 316 is 13.9 in my calculator. And I'm going to add the 0 because it is money. And then last step for this part is to divide by 2.78. And I get y equal to 5. Okay. I can take that y, plug it back in up here into that nice equation where x is already kind of by itself, and I'll substitute in. So x is equal to y, which is 5 plus 4, so x is equal to 9. Now, what do x and y mean? So we have to look up here. That's where you do have to look into the equation. X is the number of songs that Mary downloaded at 79 cents, and y is the number of songs downloaded at $1.99. The question is about the 79-cent price, so that's going to refer to my answer of 9 songs at 79 cents. Okay, for number 9, we're going to graph an inequality, and we have to know how to graph the line. So we're going to use the m, which is -4, or -4 over 1, because remember that's the rise over the run, and the b is -1. So that's our y-intercept, which tells me that it's going to start on the y-axis at x equals, or y equals -1. Is my first point, and I'm not going to be able to use a straight edge because I'm working on my iPad, but I would expect that you will use a straight edge for your test. So from that b value of -1, I'm going to go down 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, into the right 1. Puts me right there, and I'm going to make one more data point, 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and to the right 1 more, and puts a third data point there. So like I said, you would use a straight edge, but you also need to consider, is this going to be a solid or a dotted line? So you're looking at the equation or the inequality symbol itself. because it has the equal to underneath, it will be a solid line. So you can, I'm using pink. I'll use a different color, blue. Using your straight edge, as I said, I can't really use one because and that turned out kind of sad. And I have to now consider the shading. So I have a solid line because of the equal to, and because it's less than, I'm going to shade everything underneath. So this would be my shaded region. And of course you want to label your scale. I counted by ones, so there you go. For number 10, we have a similar problem. In number 10, we are graphing y is greater than, strictly greater than 2x. And if I wanted to make this in y equals mx plus b form, it would be 2x plus 0. So my slope is positive 2 over 1. That's going to be a rise of 2, run of 1. And my y-intercept is 0. So let me label my axes for 1. I'm going to start at my y-intercept of 0, and from here I'm going to go up 2 and to the right 1, and again up 2 to the right 1, like that. I am going to do a dotted line. Okay, I do the dotted line because it is not got the equal to sign underneath. Wish I could use a straight edge for you guys, but that's the best I can do. And now I have to determine where am I going to shade. It's greater than, so I'm going to shade everything above the line. And that's it. That's my graph. I just got to label my axes. Do a better job than I did. I didn't really get them on the grid, but I think you get the idea. Slide here where I do kind of want to know, what does this mean? What is, like, for instance, I'll just use a different color, but what is this region all about? What does it mean about the points that are in this region? I kind of made just a big mess out of this, but I would expect that you know that any point that is in that region is a solution to this inequality. So something like that. Also, in addition to that, any point that is on that line is a solution to this inequality. Versus over here in number 10, anything that's in this blue region that I'm now circling or shading pink, anything in that region is going to be a solution to the inequality. But if the point is on the line, it is not a solution to the inequality. That's why it's indicated with the dot. I hope this has been helpful, and I wish you the best of luck on your test tomorrow. If you have any questions, send me a text, 727-495-MATH, and have a great night. Okay, and then the last question is a writing question, and you've had some time to think about that because this has actually been in your practice test, and I want you to touch base on these vocabularies the vocabulary words that you see here. What does it mean to be a system of linear equations? What is the graphing method? How is that different from the substitution method, the elimination method? Maybe you want to do a little compare and contrast or provide examples of what those 3 different methods are. Again, graphing, substitution, elimination. What is the solution of a system of linear equations about? We know that that's a coordinate, so I would expect that you would say something about that. You don't need to worry about the system of linear inequalities. We have actually taken that out of our instruction, the system of linear inequalities. And same thing here, the solution to a system of linear inequalities you don't have to worry about. I would maybe ask, though, that you